Love, 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 love.
Love, 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 love.
Sorry,
Love, love, love,
sorry,
love,
you
love, 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 love.
So like, love, love,
Okay,
love.
I'm gonna pretend I'm talking to you. Okay.
No
okay.
inflection.
Okay.
Love, 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 love,
Okay,
love.
thanks, Sarah. Okay, bye, bye, bye. Love, 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 love.
Live on tape from Capture Production Studios in beautiful downtown Bridgeville. It's Consumer Sense with Dr. Audrey Gusky. Here to make sense of it all, Audrey Gusky.
Welcome to Consumer Sense, where we share consumer tips and trends of what's happening in the Pittsburgh marketplace with you. I am Dr. Audrey Gusky. On this week's show, we continue our interview with Hottie Hanna and Kevin Laird from Howard Hanna. They will give you some tips on how to refinance your home and help you decide if now is a good time to refinance. Has this ever happened to you? You're in a store and you just don't want to pay that sticker price for that product. Do you dare haggle? Absolutely. We will give you some pointers so that the sticker price will be the starting point for you to bargain away. If you've been thinking about going back to school for your master's degree, we will help you with information on graduate programs. Todd Eicher, the Director of Graduate Admissions at Duquesne University, will be giving us the inside scoop on graduate programs, how to apply, and what programs are available. And Duquesne's MBA Director, Tom Niss, will talk about why you should get your MBA. And we have a big surprise for you from Moe's Southwest Grill. Oh yeah, they have a new pop machine, and it's not like any other pop machine you have ever seen. We will tell you how it works and how you can mix your own crazy concoctions. You have to see this. It is really cool. As always, we'll be saving you a lot of dollars and making a lot of sense for you on this week's Consumer Sense. Looking for the perfect gift? Did you know that when you buy gifts for your loved ones, the gift you buy is a reflection of yourself and of your feelings for that special someone? Use these 4 P's to find the perfect present. Plan, personalize, present, and prioritize. First, plan. Don't consider what you like, but what they want to receive. It's their gift. Think about their hobbies and their interests. Ask what they want or snoop around to find out what they like. Listen for hints. Be impractical. Give the gift they want, not the gift they need. It's more fun that way. Gift of the Month clubs are fun, and the person will think of you throughout the entire year. Second, personalize. Try flea markets or craft fairs for one-of-a-kind treasures. Make it yourself. Give a mix of favorite music, a framed picture, or bestow a family heirloom. A priceless gift. Consider food. Be creative about the food. Make it yourself. Think outside the box, the gift box, that is. Try giving a unique adventure, such as a weekend at a bed and breakfast, a hot air balloon ride, a class in wine tasting or pottery, or dinner at a local restaurant. Third, present your present creatively. Wrap it in style. Follow a theme that coordinates with your gift. If you're giving wine, top it up with a funky corkscrew. If you're giving a set of garden tools, use bright, colorful gift wrap, maybe with flowers. And always add a bow. A gift with no bow is like a day without sunshine. Include a gift receipt in a sealed envelope just in case it's the wrong size or color. And finally, prioritize. Your presence may be the best present of all. Give your time and yourself. Remember, it's the thought that counts. Make it a gift from the heart. Probably a very good time to refinance your home.
Now was a great time, and that'd probably be the number one tip I would give. I would suggest that people get out and do it quickly. Rates are down at historic lows. You can see rates right now at the 3 7/8 or 4% range, and now's the time to get out and do the refinancing.
Now, why are rates so low?
Well, the government has tried to keep rates low to artificially, at this point in time, stimulate the economy. And as such, what they're asking people to do is go ahead and do refinances and things of that nature so that they can use the money that you're saving elsewhere in the economy and, do a little bit more spending, outside the home stores and things of that nature.
And it seems like it's working.
So far, it has been, yes.
So it seems like when people are interested in refinancing, it seems like such a big job, and a lot of times people are fearful and they don't even know where to start. So what's the first step?
People shouldn't be afraid. I mean, you hear people traveling around the city looking for 2-cent savings in gasoline, that they'll take one gas station over another for 2 cents. But really, if we look at the economy, interest rates have really dropped about a full percent since last year at this time, and the savings is enormous at this point in time. So they should just start the process, and it's as easy as picking up the phone, give the bank a call, give Howard Hanna a call. We can do interviews over the phone. We can tell you right then and there if it's worth your time, and then we progress from there and say, yes, we can move forward, and then we start the process and send you the application or meet with you to take that application.
So then what is the next step?
The next step would be to call the loan officers, Howard Hanna, 412-967-9000. Ask for somebody in the mortgage department. As I said, we'll call you back. We start the process, pre-qualify you, and then come out and actually do the interview and then run your credit and start the process of collecting the data to get you refinanced.
Yeah, now, one of people's concerns are the high closing costs. So what could people expect regarding that?
Closing costs really aren't that high. It depends upon the actual amount of your mortgage, but if you're thinking about a refinance, you're talking about 2.5%, 3.5% depending. So the costs aren't that high. And quite often in refinance, what you can do is build that cost right back into your mortgage so that you can pay it over a period of years rather than paying it all up front or pouring out of your bank at that time. It's very common practice. So it can be.
Now, are there any rules of thumb that people should know whether they should refinance or not?
Not really. I mean, it's an individual basis. We used to say the general rule of thumb was that you had to save 1% at least to make it worth your while. We found that that's not necessarily the case anymore because what can happen is home values can have appreciated, so that may give you equity in property. You can also get rid of mortgage insurance. Some people would have only put 10% down. They may have that equity in their property now, so they can eliminate mortgage insurance. So each case is looked at individually, and it can be beneficial.
Now, with the interest rates being so low, a lot of people are looking to refinance their homes. Can you give them any advice on that?
Well, we're going back to the early 40s. It's the lowest interest rate environment that we have been in for 30-year fixed rate loans and all other kinds of mortgage loans. Today's rate was just under 4%. And contrary to popular opinion, financing is not that difficult to get. Okay, clearly it wasn't like it was 5 years ago. You didn't have to have a job, you didn't have to have any down payment, you didn't have to have any records, which was crazy. Yeah. But people with average credit scores and as little as 3.5% down payment, we've got plenty of mortgage money available at this rate. And so if I can't think of a better time to be in the market because of, especially in this market, when every prognosis is that we're going to go up in values and interest rates are as low as they are. So I think it's an opportune time. And I come across people every day asking me about refinancing. I'm surprised how many people are still sitting in mortgages that are 5, 6, 7%, that they could be in a fixed rate at 4% tomorrow, which would reduce their monthly payments by 30, 40, 50%, which is just a great savings and should go back into that excess savings should go back into the economy.
Well, Hadi, thank you so much for joining us today on Consumer Sense.
Pleasure. Great to be with you.
And please come back soon.
Great. I'll be delighted. Thanks, Audrey.
Thank you. For the past couple months, we here at Consumer Sense have been providing with updated information about the Pittsburgh Business Times Brand Madness Contest. As you know, there were 64 brands originally that started, and they finally determined, we as Pittsburghers voted for the Terrible Towel as the #1 brand. With us today is Jennifer Curry, and she's a managing editor at the Pittsburgh Business Times to give us some inside scoop on what was happening behind the scenes. Jen, welcome to Consumer Sense.
Thank you.
Now, tell us, how did this contest all come about?
Well, it actually started with one of our sister papers in Minneapolis. They had a Brand Madness contest that they run there, and it ended up being really popular and really successful in Minneapolis.
Yeah, that makes an awful lot of sense. Now, the big question everybody wants to know is, how did you pick the 64 brands to actually, start the competition?
Well, we saw input both inside and outside of the company. Our editorial department, collected suggestions, and then ultimately we ended up picking 64 brands to start with. We do plan to do this again in the future, and so at that point we'll also be, seeking suggestions for brands and coming up with possibly a different way to select them.
Yeah, it was really a fabulous way to highlight Pittsburgh because a lot of times we don't recognize the brands and the corporate images that we have in this community. And I think that was really, really fun for everyone to keep track and see who the winner was going to be.
Yeah, we were really, it was great to see the Terrible Towel win. I know a lot of our readers have been rooting for them all along.
Now, were there any surprises along the way that you saw that you weren't expecting?
We were a little bit surprised to see the Cranberry Woods Office Park come into the top 4 finalists, but it was a surprise for us.
Now, I know a lot of companies really rallied around this and got their people and their customers and everyone, voting and becoming involved. So, that was a really positive thing for the companies as well. It sort of added some momentum and energy there.
Yeah, several of the companies had people, get involved within their own company and to encourage voting. The Terrible Towel support came from the Allegheny Valley School. The proceeds from the Terrible Towel go to the school, and they got very involved in it.
They did, which was wonderful. Well, maybe next year you could put Consumer Sense on as one of the top brands in Pittsburgh. Jen, thank you for joining us on Consumer Sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Haggling, it's not just for used car lots or flea markets. Think of a price tag as a suggested retail price and bargain away. This is the perfect time to negotiate because the economy is shaky, retail sales are down, and retailers are looking to move merchandise. Many stores have a policy that if you ask for a discount, you'll get an automatic 10%. It's true. You will have a better chance with a salesperson who works on commission than one who is a minimum wage clerk. Here are some tips on how to get that discount. Act shocked by the price. You don't have to be an Oscar-winning actress to show your concern about the high price. Go on the internet and research competition's prices. A smart shopper saves the most money. Go in there armed with your ammunition. Know the prices. Make sure the price is right for you. Point out the flaws, even if it's minor. You can get a price reduction. A scratch, nick, or dent could save you big bucks. Tell the clerk, I don't want to pay full price for something that's defective, and show them the nicks. Ask the salesperson to throw in something extra. Maybe they can't knock down the price, but they can give you a freebie. Ask for more. You just might get it. You have nothing to lose. Ask to see the manager. Go to the top for the top price. When the price isn't right, getting a better price is as easy as asking for it.
Will always be home.
Sports.
I actually have neighbors that I talk to instead of Boston.
Go Pens. It's everything.
The new mango one is it. It's really good. It's really good, nice and sweet.
Mom and Dad are probably watching.
I drank it the first time it came out, and I've been drinking it ever since.
Man, I love Iron City. You got to support your own city. I lived here all my life.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Butler, Pennsylvania.
Massachusetts.
Marysville, Pennsylvania. Washington, PA.
Shady Side.
Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, man.
In today's competitive world, education is more important than ever in today's job market. Have you been wondering whether you should go back to graduate school? Well, with us today on Consumer Sense, we have Todd Eicher, who is the Director of Admissions of Graduate Programs, and he's here to answer that question for you and maybe give you some tips and ideas of how to go back to school. Todd, thank you for joining us. Welcome to Consumer Sense.
Thank you for having me.
Now, how do people start as far as graduate programs? Maybe someone's been thinking about, should I go back to school or not? What would be the first step they should do?
Well, I think the first step really is doing the research that they need to, looking at the programs, what is a good fit for them. And that means not only the institution itself, but also the type of program, online, in the classroom, and it varies per person.
Yeah. Now, a lot of times people think, well, my undergrad program was, say, in business. Should I get an MBA? Like, what's the connection between your undergrad program and your graduate program?
Well, the graduate program typically is going to be something that's a lot more in depth. So it's going to take your education to the next level. But I think you also want to caution folks, graduate programs do provide a nice opportunity for you to recreate yourself as well. So in today's economy, with the way things are kind of going, sometimes folks are viewing graduate programs as an opportunity to go back and major in something that was totally different, but also continues them moving forward.
Now, what we're seeing in the marketplace, too, a lot of companies are downsizing and people are losing their jobs, and then people are going back to school. Is that a good idea for people?
Sure, it can definitely be that, and many folks are looking at this as an investment in themselves to some degree. Some companies are also enabling folks to go back, and they'll provide some tuition assistance as well for them to further themselves and then contribute back to the company.
Yeah, which is a good plan. So instead of being, in a sense, out of the job market, it's a good way, as you said, to improve and recreate yourself. I love that. Now, a lot of students go directly from their undergrad program to a graduate program. Is that a good idea for them?
Well, it's going to depend on the program. For some students, that is a great opportunity. It is that chance to kind of say, you know what, maybe I want to just continue my education. I'm kind of in the role of things, if you may. Or it may be an opportunity for them to say, you know what, I really want to go a different direction. Myself, as an example, I went a completely different route compared to my undergraduate.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, because today's economy is so tough, is it a good idea? Like, what are the advantages to having a graduate degree?
Sure. One of the big advantages, and recent studies have actually shown that you can actually make about $475,000 extra above those that have a bachelor's degree over the lifetime. So that alone is kind of a nice incentive for folks to go back and continue that. I think some other additional reasons that someone may want to go back is to make them more competitive in the field. There are careers right now that are requiring you to go back. Take the healthcare industry, for example. For right now, as you look at physician assistant programs and things like that, they're all 5 years with an end result in a master's degree, whereas several years ago, they were strictly 4-year degrees with a bachelor's end. We have many students that are now coming back and picking up that master's program. Duquesne University, for instance, we added a Master's of Science in Health Sciences. It creates an added opportunity, so if someone didn't want to go for a master's specifically in physician assistance, it does give them an opportunity to pick up a little bit more broad-based master's type of program and still remain competitive in the workforce.
Sure. Now, talk about some other programs we have here at Duquesne.
Well, some other programs that we do have, we have a variety of master's degrees in the School of Education. So for those teachers that want to start their master's degree or finish a master's degree, they can do that. In our School of Liberal Arts, we have things like computational mathematics, so a little bit different type of thing. In the business school, we have our sustainability program along with our MBAs. In the School of Natural and Environmental Sciences, we have chemistry and biology as well. So all opportunities that a student can get here at Duquesne.
Sure. Now, if someone was interested in coming back to graduate school, what opportunities are there as far as funding? We all know what's out there for undergrad programs,
Sure.
But as far as a graduate program, where can they find some, funding?
I would encourage many folks to start right at home in their company, particularly, whether it's human resources or someone within that realm. But I would also encourage them to jump on individual websites, such as Council of Graduate Schools has a very nice website, and there's some resources in there specifically for students to explore outside options. Here at Duquesne, we're actually offering a 25% tuition and fee award for select programs. It started about a year ago, and it was designed for Duquesne graduates specifically. For the upcoming spring, summer, and fall of 2012, we've expanded it to new graduate students to Duquesne, so it even reaches a further group. And as I said, this is an excellent opportunity for folks to maybe explore certain programs.
It's a great opportunity, especially in today's economy. Now, as far as Duquesne, of course, I'm biased and love Duquesne dearly. We also have the proximity to the city. What's the benefit to students coming to Duquesne?
Well, I think that does create an opportunity for students where they can explore a variety of internships if that's required of their program. A lot of great resources and professional connections that Duquesne has related to the city, and that they can take full advantage of that.
Yeah, and I know we also have a lot of advisory boards too, so there's a lot of connections with the corporate Pittsburgh that we can take advantage of.
Also, whenever a student decides to go on and find a job, that now they have some nice references, especially as the faculty can encourage them as well.
Great. Well, Todd, we thank you so much for joining us here on Consumer Sense.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
What are you doing? Tooling around. On a day like today? No, I'm tooling around.
Does your workshop look like this? Need some tools for an extra special project? Are you a professional sick of paying high prices from the superstores? Then come to Toolin' Around in the heart of beautiful downtown Bridgeville. If you're looking to buy a quality used tool or need fast cash, then come on down to Toolin' Around. Come on down to Toolin' Around.
With us today on Consumer Sense is Tom Niston. He's the Director of Graduate Programs here at the Business School at Duquesne. Tom, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, Audrey. It's good to be here.
Now, one of the questions everyone always wants to know is, is there an advantage to getting an MBA, a Master's in Business Administration?
Yes, there are a couple, actually. If you just think about numbers and income potential, there's a lot of data out there that shows that your lifetime earning potential with an MBA is way higher than if you really stop after an undergraduate degree and just go to work. Even people who go back to school and earn an MBA while they're working have a nice incremental income opportunity that goes with that. Plus, an MBA qualifies you for more opportunities in leadership positions, managerial assignments. MBAs are flexible people who can really move across the organization and do different things, and so more career opportunities as well.
Absolutely. It helps you, in a sense, recreate yourself.
Yes.
Now, as far as Duquesne, what's the advantage to coming to Duquesne University for your MBA?
Well, Duquesne's got a long-lasting reputation. We've been accredited by the leading accrediting organization in the world for 50 years. We have many, many alumni. We also have a variety of programs. We have an evening program that's populated by people who are working professionals. They have day jobs, they have families sometimes, and they're a neat community of people who are really burning the candle at both ends in service of succeeding. We have a daytime MBA program that focuses on sustainable business practices, which is really the top trend in business education, nationally ranked, globally ranked by the Aspen Institute. The placement rates are terrific out of that full-time program for people who leave the workforce and come back and commit to that. And you can finish that program in 1 year full-time, which is nice. We have a master's degree in accountancy for the accounting students who need 150 credit hours to sit for the CPA exam, and we prepare them for that. And we also have a customized program in, it's a Master's of Science in Information Systems Management, which also leads to certification for people who are interested in IT auditing and things like that.
Great programs. And of course, our location is fabulous. You open the door and our backyard is corporate Pittsburgh.
That's right. We love being where we are, which is in downtown Pittsburgh. For our current students, people who are here full time can go down and work in an internship a couple of afternoons a week. People who are working all day can walk to school in the evening and park once and be here for the whole day and not have to worry about midday commuting and so forth. But the best advantage in that regard is the fact that we have immediate access to so many alum and working professionals who are in the city that we can have come up and make a presentation to a class or network with our students or whatever, and that's just, we love being where we are.
We certainly do, and we're proud to be Duquesne. Thank you for joining us, Tom, on Consumer Sense.
Thank you.
Business is really bubbling up here at Moe's Southwest Grill in Collier Township. With us today is Mike Geiger, the owner of Moe's, and he's here to share some really exciting news about a new pop machine that they have. It's Coca-Cola's Freestyle. Mike, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure, as always.
You were the first ones in Pittsburgh to have this machine.
Absolutely. We tried really hard. We worked for several months with Coca-Cola and our franchisor from Atlanta to make sure that, number one, Pittsburgh is one of the first markets to get it, but two, that we were going to be the first within the Pittsburgh region in terms of brand to have it.
How exciting. Now tell us about the machine. Like, what's the concept behind it?
The concept is taking the Coca-Cola drink experience and making it as diverse as possible, as interactive as possible. So you can go anywhere, you can get a fountain Coca-Cola or Sprite. This machine has over 120 different flavors that are configured within it. And then of course you can mix even more than what's already configured to make literally millions of different flavor concoctions.
That is really cool. Now there's a lot of marketing implications to this as well, as far as trending goes.
There are. So Coke worked actually for 7 years to finalize this product in the concept as you see right now, in terms of size, in terms of experience, in terms of the flavors, and how they actually all mix together. One of the things that the goal was, again, is to make this a more interactive experience, to allow the consumer to actually try something that they've never had before, and let them pick how they do it. And what Coke wants to do is kind of gather that information, and then from this machine actually to receive the information and decide, okay, in this region of the country, people like this specific flavor mixed with Coke, or with Sprite, or with Mr. Pibb. And the goal is to eventually then have products on the shelves of grocery stores in bottles that meet what the consumers in that specific region want.
I like flavored water.
Flavored water, okay, so Coca-Cola's water brand is Dasani, so you would select Dasani. And now you can either get Dasani water, or you could have a flavor. You could have lemon, peach, lime, grape, raspberry, you name it.
Now what if I want to have raspberry and peach?
We'll simply select raspberry.
Okay.
Our cup is placed, push and hold.
Uh-huh.
And you said you want to add peach as well?
Sure.
Select peach and push and hold. Give it a try.
Cool. Let's try it. That is fabulously
Delicious
delicious.
and calorie-free.
No, you're kidding me.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I'm hooked on this one. This is really great.
So you like, for example, you like to mix 2 different flavors, right?
Yeah.
So right here we've got a little logo. So what you can do with this little logo that scans, there's an iPhone application that Coke created, and you'll download the application on your iPhone. And Dr. Audrey Gusky likes to have half peach and half raspberry. You'll simply upload that formula that you like to drink, and this machine communicates with Coca-Cola Corporate every single night. It'll download that recipe for you. When you walk in, you'll scan your iPhone, set your cup down, and it will pour your exact combination. You don't even have to select it.
That is so amazing.
It is.
Thank you for joining us, Mike.
It's always a pleasure.
And that's this week's Moe's Marketing Minute. Please join us in Collier or in Cranberry or in
Market Square or in Washington, where we
Washington.
always say welcome to Moe's.
Thanks for joining us this week for Consumer Sense. We hope you enjoyed the show. We have had a great time all season long providing you with consumer tips and trends. This week's Consumer Sense sensible moments were: now is a great time to refinance your house. Even if you recently refinanced, you may be able to save even more money since interest rates are at a record low. Contact a financial institution, such as Howard Hanna, to get it started. Make sure you try Moe's new Coca-Cola Freestyle. It's like the iPod of fountain machines with over a bazillion choices. Get a little crazy with your concoctions. Now may be a great time for you to start back to school to get your graduate degree. It's not as hard as you think. Consider Duquesne University. We provide education for the heart, mind, and spirit. And don't be afraid to haggle with retailers. You just might be able to save an easy 10% off the sticker price. Become a part of the energy and excitement as Consumer Sense educates, entertains, and enriches the consumer experience. Like us on Facebook, Consumer Sense. Follow us on Twitter @Consumer Sense. And check out our website, draudreygusky.com. We have all of our shows on our website in case you missed any. Plus, we have other tips to help you save time and money in the marketplace. It has been an awesome first season. I can't thank you enough for joining us every week on Consumer Sense. And I especially want to thank Capture Production Studios in Bridgeville for the wonderful, wonderful opportunity they have given me. It was a dream come true, and I will be forever grateful. Please join us next season when we continue to provide you consumer tips and trends. I am Dr. Audrey Gusky with Consumer Sense, where we make sense and will always make sense for you.